a bit shorter. I wanted to do a video about coloring. And one of the most important tools that Illustrator has that is really neat and really fun to do, and you can do a lot of cool things with it. So, to color, as I showed you in the last video, you can go over here to your appearance menu, click on any color that you like to do the fill or the lining. We'll just kind of leave that the way it is right now. Pick a color like orange for the square. And the star we'll use like a yellow color. Now in my setup of Adobe Illustrator, I have it set up where I have my own gradient window right down here. And there are 3 types of gradients that you could use. So for this first gradient here, we're going to select the linear gradient and apply it. The default colors are just going to be black and white, so it didn't really matter what color I picked there. But if you want to change the colors down here, you drop down here to this bar right here, gradient slider, and you can change how much white you have showing. Oh, I deselected that. You can add more colors into it. You can change the saturation points by sliding these little bars right here. And we are going to go back to our orange color that we had because I just find it displays it a little bit better. So as you can see here, I have white color in the middle, transitioning into black. Slide that over. I can give it a little bit more orange if I like. And if you don't like the black, you can just hit the delete button here, and then it would transition from an orange to a white color. To make the transition, I guess, a little bit more impactful, you can change it to a color closer to what you're dealing with. And as you can see here, you can see it changing color here, but it's really hard to see. So we're going to pick something that just stands out way, way better, like this. So that is our linear gradient, very easy to do. On our star shape here, we're going to pick another gradient for it. We are going to go with the radial gradient. Now because I was using the orange color, it basically just kept the orange color in there. We're going to change it back to a yellow. Just like that. Now this gradient, as you can see, comes out like a radius, so it's like it says. So it starts off in the middle here, that being our yellow color, and then slowly transitions to red points here on the star. If you want to give it more red, you can actually see here the way I've done that. Now we can see a lot more of the transition, and it goes to a solid red. Just put it right there in the middle. If you have everything kind of centered there in the middle, you see how it's yellow there and just slowly tapers off. And then if you want a really harsh transition, you can just kind of rotate the colors into almost the point you can't even see them here. You can also change the opacity of it. So we can say 60% if you wanted to kind of more or less blend into the background. And our last kind of shading here is basically made a little shape here. Little blob will kind of make it into a planet. So for this gradient fill, we are going to use freeform gradient. Sorry, I got the color wheel going. Okay, so this one does here, your actual points are actually on your shape that it's trying to fill in. So we are going to change these, kind of make it look like it's a planet. with water. So we're going to use lots of blues. Using white here at the poles, kind of give a little effect of ice, if you will. So right now, this is actually set to the minimum distance that you can see the gradient expand. But you can change that by just clicking right here and dragging. We want it pretty small for these guys here. I'll move this guy over here. That there. We'll have those kind of set up as more shallow water. And whatever the last color that you worked with, if you click a new point, it will automatically put that color there. Now if I want to give the look of maybe a little bit deeper water out there, we'll add some of this. A lot of darker blue. And we can add something really deep colors as well, almost like a purple. Just gives it a lot more depth. You can do the same thing on the land if you really wanted to. So go to your selection tool, select this shape, go back to the freeform. Oh, we can add this as like kind of a sandy color over here. Do some greens. Some yellows. Some lighter color greens. And that again just gives it a whole new dimension, making it look much more like a landmass, I guess. You can do some fun stuff like kind of make it look like a mountain range. Just kind of going across our little land mass here. You can add colors really close if you wanted to this section. We can put their white too, so it kind of looks almost like a snow cap. Yeah, there we go. Just adds a little bit more elements to it. You know, obviously, click away kind of gives you the bit more of the full effect of it. That's the basics for using the color gradient tool. Like I said, it's a lot of fun to use in Adobe Illustrator. It's really simple to use. Saves a ton of time when you're doing designs and you want to have that nice color blend transitioning from side to side, and gives shapes and everything else a lot more depth in it as well. This is an example of a color gradient scheme that I kind of used while making this jellyfish. It was part of an instructional video. However, you can see here how much life comes into the jellyfish as opposed to just using straight colors, where we transition from purples to pinks and back around, as well as blues and dark blues. And just the shape of the algae that we did. We did the algae to line up with some of the tentacles here on the jellyfish. Just kind of made it all into one piece. But I wanted to see everyone to see what a more complex design looks like while using the gradient tools.